This story is about a 7-year-old son who lived with his mother. The son was the cynosure of her eyes. The thought of sending him to school always terrified her. She thought he's too little to handle the long pathway alone. But school is important as well. And thus, she decided to send him to school. She bid him goodbye. And on her way back, she just thought of, was the decision fine to send him to school? By evening, the son returned. However, he refused that he won't go to school again. The worried mom had faith, belief, and conviction in the eternal power. The next morning, she woke her child. And the child refused to cooperate. The mother said, "Deep in the forest, there is your elder brother. And to this affection, attachment, devotion, and eternal love for the son's well-being created the possibility. Such a strong bond of familial love gave rise to a newfound hope and possibility." The son agreed to go to school. Embraced by his new energy, he agreed and he said, Mom, please tell me what's the name of my elder brother?" To this, the mom said, "Hope." Embraced by new energy, when he headed to school, he reached the forest and he called up his brother's name. And the faith in his mother, he could hear the voice of the magic, the voice of the eternal, the voice of the immortal. This is the power of story. I call this story making it happen. Sometimes when you are headed against difficult tasks, the leap of faith and determination creates possibility. These are those people who wish for something, who work towards attaining it, and beyond expectations come true to them. This is possibility. Storytelling has been the most powerful way to put ideas into the world today. A famous quote by Robert McFee Brown. Stories change lives. Stories transform lives. Yes, and we often associate stories with children. But stories are for you and stories are for me. Stories are for all ages. We undermine the power of stories. I, a happy engineer who could have handled the course of engineering degree very well, however, got married and settled with children. And with my children, the newfound passion for stories began. The coin of my life just flipped. And thus started my journey of storytelling. After pondering this thought, I think that something is there that keeps me connected with the Indian form of storytelling. What is it? Is it my upbringing? Or is it the religious observances that have impacted me? When I was a child, my mom, she used to take me to all the ritual events and performances. I used to hate it. I disliked them because all my peers used to binge watch and my mom, she accompanied me to kathas. Katha, which is an Indian form of storytelling. This form of storytelling is unique because it combines ancient literature, music, and visual arts. From time immemorial, stories have been passed down from generations to generations. There are stories connected to every region and religion of India in local languages. One such fine example is the Coward Bachna from Rajasthan. What is coward? Cowards are half a door and Bachna means to narrate. So cowards are these rectangular wooden boxes which you can see. And on these wooden boxes, it is intricately carved and beautifully colored. These cowards, they narrate the story of the ancient mythology of gods and goddesses of Rajasthan. Another such example, which I'll take, is from Gujarat. This is Bhava. This is a unique stage art form of Gujarat, performed with Bhava, expressing emotions. And the real meaning of Bhava is, Bhav means the universe and I means the mother. That is the mother of the universe, the Ambe. Moving ahead, when you go to every region of India, from Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari, the walls of the temples and shrines across India are beautifully carved with paintings of stories based on religion. Now, what are these? Let me tell you one example. Can you see this picture? This is the Jain Temple of Ajmer, often known as Soni Ji Ki Nasiyan. This is a rich, beautiful architectural heritage of India and which was built in the 19th century. Here you can see there are wooden figures and these are all gold plated and they define the austerity of the Jain religion. So every religion has some kind of katha related to it. What is this? You all know. This is a festival, one-day festival, which all Hindu married women practice for the longevity and well-being of their husbands. This Hindu festival, which is known as Karwa Chauth, it's a vrat, a code of conduct which is carried in all Indian households, wherein you fast, you perform a vowed religious observance, and after this, you listen to a katha. So every religion, region of India has a kind of story. Let's move ahead in this tradition. There are three major katha traditions. The first one being Puran Ravan, wherein there are Puranics or spiritual interpreters. These Puranics or spiritual interpreters, they tell the story, the ancient literature, the ancient scriptures of a religion. For example, the Adi Puran, which is a revered Jain text. The Bhagavad Puran, which is a revered rich text of Hindu tradition. This shows the devotion in that text, which often leads to salvation, bliss, and self-knowledge. It leads to stability and oneness in one's thought, action, and deed, and which washes away all your impurities. Let's move ahead in this round. This is Harikatha. Katha Kalapshepam, the second form of Katha tradition. Here there are stories often told as anecdotes in Hindi, Sanskrit, Marathi, Telugu and Kannada. They define the mythological lore of India. These traditions are in a comprehensive manner and narrated to the common people. Here we define God's life. embellished with shlokas and music, and they are narrated by learned scholars. So one such fine example you can see is Harikatha from Telugu. The last but not the least, folk narratives, often called as the Panchatantra stories. These stories are often about kings and queens, clever animals, brave hunters. These stories are told by our grandmothers to the children. When we go down to Andhra Pradesh, the southeast state of India, there the folk narratives are done called as Burra Katha. Now what is this Burra? Burra is a kind of drum which is shaped like a human skull. And when the narrators narrate the story, they beat this drum. One such other example in this series is Villu Pattu from Tamil Nadu. Here stories are narrated with a stringed instrument resembling a bow. So each and every region of India is diverse with culture and they have a story. These stories have the power to transform our lives. And I do believe that this Indian art of storytelling has created the possibility. You must be imagining how. The religious observances which I used to practice when I was young, when I was a child, those practices has paved the way to give me this TED stage today. So thank you, Indian art of storytelling, full of possibilities.